How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to the House of Fata Morgana, where we have challenged the witch to her own recollection. And we also saw her for the first time in her new form of... Ooh, that's, like, honestly, skeletal hand, I can handle. Weird, half-decayed flesh, it's okay. Creepy super smile? No, just that's nightmare fuel. But, regardless, we have determined, we have set Giselle free, that she has been released, and yet she is also with us. And now it is our turn to try and end the madness of the house. We're here to try and end the chaos and the pain and the repetitive death and death and death. And so, we are here in her memories because one thing we've learned is that there's always another side to the story. There's always the human element, a level of exchange and belief and like understanding that can be there that she probably isn't privy to. When we heard her story, he pointed out there was no humanity in it. Again, it was very similar to the first time we heard the story of Michel and Giselle. It was almost like it was such a pinprick focus on specific aspects of the story that there were a lot of parts that we probably lost sight of. And so Michel is taking a gamble, saying, well, let's go in, and I bet you that you're going to be surprised to learn just how pitiable and relatable those three men who did these horrible things to you actually are. Is it enough to maybe justify them? No, absolutely not. But could it be enough to bring an end to the grudge that she holds? Maybe. I've been told there's not going to be a narrator in this, though, so I have no idea what that means in this. And also, some of you kind of pointed out that I guess there are going to be decisions from here on out, but the decisions aren't nearly as weighty. I think, like, obviously you weren't trying to spoil it for me, so I don't know, but, like, you made it sound like it comes to the big hurdles and possible, like, bad endings. I've passed most of them, at least, if not all of them. I'll still, of course, be very thoughtful in my choices, but I guess there's just not as much replayability from here on out. If I want to see other bad endings, I'm going to have to go back and do them. But regardless, let's jump in and finish the final door, the final time. This will be the last hurdle. Like, the game has said it. Like, it's going to happen. So we're almost done. Let's just cross our fingers and hope. Hope we can find some peace for everybody and move on. I brought you some food. You have to eat something. You barely touched your food yesterday. Come on, please. Just leave it there. Her hands aren't bound. She can eat whatever she pleases. But she's not going to last much longer. The boy has a point. If she won't eat, we lose our supply of blood. That's not what I meant! Leave it there. Well, we'll be back. Man, the music, music's been on point since day one, but the skill and power of that music is just getting better and better. And who is it? Oh, this is the sister. Interesting with the rose, too. Do you really have to go? Sorry. Yeah, things are pretty hectic right now. And when do you suppose you'll be back? Tomorrow, same time as today. And you'll have enough time to talk then? Will you? Yeah. Are you hiding something from me? You're acting kind of funny. You're my sister. I wouldn't keep anything from you. You're not yourself, though. What's so different about me? Well, you're not acting much like a prince. Ah, right. Of course. Don't worry, I'm still your prince, same as always. Good old Mel. Old Mel, original Mel. Oh, that switched. The names were even the same through time, huh? Good night, Nellie. My princess. How did I end up in this mess? I never wanted this. All I wanted was a quiet life. Someone get me out of here. Take this thing somewhere far away. Tell me I'm not the bad one here. Oh God, I'm begging you. Just make it all go away. Someone, anyone, get me out of here. Look, look. The stars, they're beautiful. Though with it so bright out, I wonder if someone might see us. Everyone's long gone. I hope so. Are you ashamed? A little, but I still want to be with you. Have you ever considered leaving the convent? You can't just stop being a nun, you know. It's not that simple. I've made vows, sworn my life to the service of God. I was not aware. I don't know much about this land's traditions. If I were to leave the church, it would have to be in my next life. I'd like to be a normal girl, lead a normal life. Get married, have kids, and before I know it, I'm an old lady. Thinking, it was an uneventful life. What was the beast girl's name? I can't remember. That's her, though. That's absolutely her. But it was the best I could have asked for. That's my dream. That sounds very peaceful. I hope we can be together in our next lives, too. I have a nice, quiet life together. It'll be a city on the water. Excuse me, sorry. Looking over a beautiful, glimmering emerald sea. A blue sky spreading as far as the eye can see. The sound of the seabirds squalling by the port. The two of us sitting shoulder to shoulder, just looking out over the city. Doesn't that sound wonderful? It certainly does. I would love that. The Harvest Festival. On the day of the festival. I can only guess at who is that. 3 days until her death. Oh. Man. It's crazy because she didn't just bring in the people she hated, she brought in the people they loved. Wake up. Please, wake up. Come on. Open your eyes. Michel. Hey! I haven't seen a color him in a while. And that must be Giselle. Ugh. So bright. I'm outside. The light feels like needles in my eyes. The first thing I see beyond the mansion's darkness is blinding light. The sun glares mercilessly overhead. A gentle breeze blows past, and I can hear birds chirping from several different directions. Each breath I take fills my lungs with the scent of earth and grass. So much time has passed since I've been in the light. I almost feel like I'm alive again. No, not almost. What's going on? What on earth? Is this the era Morgana lived? Michel. Huh? Oh, aww. Oh, thank goodness you can hear me. Good morning, Master. I hope you slept well. Giselle, is that voice really you? I swear it's me, 100%. Not that I'm not that mean old phony. So don't you worry. No, I believe it's you. I just was not expecting to be able to hear you here. I did say I would always be by your side. I'm relieved. But where are you, Giselle? I can't see you anywhere. Well, I'm not exactly sure myself. You don't know? I don't know how to describe it. It's pitch dark all around me, like a black smoke churning in the darkness. It feels a lot like inside the mansion, but I don't think I'm actually in the mansion. So you're still trapped in the void then? I can see a shimmering light off in the distance. Through the fog, I can hear sounds coming from that direction. It's like the outside world is leaking through the light. I can see trees rustling and hear birds singing. I can't see you, though, so I assume I'm seeing through your eyes. And I thought I'd try getting your attention. So that means you can see everything I can. Seems so. Aww. Though I don't think I can see quite as clearly as you. I wish you could be here to feel this too. Experienced in place even. It's a bizarre sensation. While I could see and feel the world through the other doors, it was strictly in the capacity of an observer. We were merely watching, not actually present in the tale. This time, it's like I've been resurrected and dropped into the world as a participant. It's all so vivid. Everything the mansion lacked, it's all here. I can feel it so clearly. I wish you could have been the one to experience this. It's okay, Michel. I know you'll dispel the darkness I'm in, won't you? I will. I'm more than happy just being able to hear your voice, and being able to see what you see. It's like a miracle. I too am glad to know that you're here, to have the chance to hear your voice again. Thank you so much for saving me. If you hadn't showed up, I wouldn't be here. Oh no, I should be thanking you. I was overjoyed to learn how much you really cared about me. There are so many things I want to say right now. So many things I want you to know. So many thank yous. And so many I love yous. Oh. Hey now, is that really the best response you've got? Surely you can do better than that. You're embarrassing me. I am somewhat disappointed by one thing, though. I can't get any hugs or kisses since I'm not there in person. Oh, come on. You're not very good at this, are you? And you're not very good at picking up on how much you're embarrassing me. I'd expect the very least a me too. We should start by finding out when and where exactly this is. You're not even trying, are you? I'm doing the best I can. Please don't ask any more of this than this of me. It's okay, though. I might not be able to see you, but we're together either way. You know, Michel, I think I might be able to help, too. While I can't be there in person, I can give you ideas, another point of view when you're not sure about something. With the two of us together, we'll find a way through this. Yes, we will. Where to begin? What do you say we get our bearings? List out exactly what we need to take care of. That's not a bad idea. I'm a bit frazzled at the moment, to tell you the truth. What? Why? I had assumed we'd just be observers, like with the other doors, searching their memories for clues. I never expected I'd actually be thrown into the era. True, it's not like all the other doors. No matter how the rules may change, I'm seeing this through to the end. If our guess is correct, we have arrived at Morgana's past. Then we need to uncover the truth behind those events. Or rather, the three men's circumstances. What they felt, what drove them. My gut tells me there's something to be found there that even Morgana doesn't know. I could be wrong, and it's possible that even if I am right, what we find won't do anything to quell her hatred. But we won't be talking her out of it, that's for sure. Words won't break through that kind of animosity. We need something bigger. Something she could have never imagined. Something that will turn her entire worldview on its head. The white-haired girl might be a good place to start. She showed up at the mansion again and again, as though led there by some supernatural force. And she was involved with all three men in some way. I can't think of anyone else with such deep ties to both the mansion and the men. But at the same time, I have a hard time convincing myself that the Morgana we know and the white-haired girl could be the same person. They are about as different as two people can be. Which actually leads me to believe there's something there. There must be something. Some secret we haven't figured out yet that we can use. So let's find it. It won't be easy. If we are in the past, though, I wonder, maybe we could change it. This could be a huge chance for us. Change the past? Yeah, we could prevent Morgana's death, or we could stop whatever led them down this path. There's an idea. If that's actually possible, maybe we could do something. Ooh, butterfly effect though, that could be a disaster, honestly. Not sure if I would recommend that. I mean, it maybe their get-together would seem a little, like, at first you might say it's kind of independent, but it's not. I mean, everything that they were was in a mansion that was abandoned. If the mansion never got abandoned, if the city never died, like, there's so many events that would have been different. They may not have met each other. But then, I guess we could use Steins Gate logic and say that Convergence would bring them together, just in a different way. That would be nice. The question is this world really... Now I'm getting kind of pumped. I've got my game face on and I'm ready to do this. Doesn't do much good if no one can see it. It's a figure of speech. Okay, first thing first, we need to find the mansion. Morgana should be at the top of the observation tower, and the three men shouldn't be too far off either. So the question is, where are we? Do you recognize the surroundings at all? I never really left the mansion, so I'm not especially familiar with the lay of the land. Give me a little spin, would you? As she requests, I slowly spin around in a circle. And through the dense woods, I spot a cluster of what appears to be stone formations. Squinting to get a better look, I realize they're buildings. It's decently far off, but it appears to be the edge of a city. I think that might be the village I stayed at for a while. It's a bit big for a village. Don't you remember what Amadi said about the village's history? Amadi, that bastard. Michel, you don't think you didn't think something uncharacteristically vulgar now, did you? Wouldn't dream of it. Yes, I remember. He said it was once much larger, and that it was destroyed in a single week by the witch's curse. Except rather than a curse, it was probably disease. If that's the same city, then it fits what Morgana had said happened. I believe he also said something about there being a large bridge on the outskirts of the city, and that following the path from there would lead to the mansion. So let's head down to the city. Alright. You don't sound very enthusiastic. Are you nervous you might have to talk to someone? Don't worry, you've got me here. Don't treat me like I'm antisocial. But you are! You're not? No, that's not what's bothering me is... Something about this whole thing feels off. This world we're in. Never mind. I'm probably overthinking things. But now's not the time for that. We need to get moving. Let's go. Rather than wasting time fretting over details, we need to get to the mansion like she said. Everything else comes after that. With each step I can feel the earth compressing beneath my feet, the grass flattening. As I weave my way through the trees toward the city, the sensation of having a living flesh and blood body slowly returns. Oh my, Mel! A white-haired man just appeared out of nowhere. Huh. And he's talking to himself. I gotta get away before he does something. Oh, he sounds literally like a peer. Fetch. Hey, hold on right there, Mel. You don't get to call me crazy and just run off. How do you know my name? Man, he's young. Why wouldn't I? We were just in the mansion together. Huh? Mansion? What are you talking about? Right, he hasn't become the shadow in the mansion yet. I doubt I would forget seeing someone as unusual as you. Who are you? And where did you come from? Where? I'd like to know that myself. Say something, Michel. He's not getting any less suspicious of you. You have to come up with some way to break the tension. Improvisation isn't my strong suit. Oh, great. I am God. Great way to start. I was sleeping in a tree. Gosh, what great choices. I'm not God. I was sleeping in a tree. It sure looked like you just popped out of nowhere. You imagined it. I was so sudden your mind misinterpreted what you saw. Is that too much of a stretch? It's not as much of a stretch as the other one. Yeah, you're right. I must have been seeing things. People can't just appear out of thin air. On days like this, I'd sometimes climb a tree to take a nap too. And then roll over and fall flat on my face. So I can relate. Michel, napping in a tree. I can't even imagine it. Me neither. Also, it would seem like unlike Morgana's, I'm the only one who can hear Giselle's voice. But that doesn't explain how you know my name. You look a lot like an acquaintance of mine. Imagine my surprise when it turns out you have the same name, too. That's a stretch, but I guess it's possible. That's definitely pushing it. Oh, yeah, that happens to me every now and then, too. Jeez, you had me spooked for a second there. Well, on one hand, I'm glad he bought it. Perhaps he's a bit too trusting? He's the kind of guy who just keeps on walking when he runs across something out of the ordinary, pretending he didn't see a thing. Not the most admirable of traits, but we're in the clear. I assume you're from the city then, if you're out here. Actually, no, I'm a wanderer of sorts. Oh, huh. Ah, did you come to see the Harvest Festival then? Harvest Festival? You don't know about it then? 3 days from now we're holding a festival at the church to celebrate the spring harvest. 3 days. Morgana dies when the bell tolls noon on the day of the festival, which means she's got that much time left. This will be my first time we've held the festival, so we're hoping to make it a big event. Something really memorable. Something stuck in my throat. Hang on a second. Hopefully I edit that out. If I didn't edit that out, I'm sorry. And a young girl is dying behind the scenes of this seemingly pleasant celebration. If her death is 3 days from now, that might give us enough time to do something about it. Could I ask you to show me the way to the church? I would like to join in on the festivities. Sure, yeah. Of course. The church's doors are open to all, friends and family and wanderers alike. It's not far. Follow me. Thank you. It didn't occur to me until now, but this really is a strange experience. This is a boy from a completely different time period who I never would have had the opportunity to meet. If he's here, then presumably the other two are as well. Which means Morgana's wish for their reconstruction was actually granted. This Mel doesn't seem like any different a person than the one I observed through the first door. Yet he played a part in Morgana's imprisonment. I have trouble believing he would voluntarily involve himself, though. I was scared for a minute there. That could have gone a lot worse. Plus, we managed to make a contact with Mel in record time. Oh, and it's playing the music from Mel's storyline now. She's interacted with him and the others before, so I guess this doesn't feel as strange to her. Ah, you don't want him to hear you talking to yourself again? So that's why you're not saying anything to me, isn't it? Actually, I think I can talk to you without speaking. Can you hear me? How are you doing that? I have a lot of experience talking to ghosts. That really drives home how bizarre things went for you in that mansion. Were you not in similar circumstances when it was you and Morgana together? Yeah, now that you mention it. What a bizarre time we've had in that mansion. Tell me about it. You're just now realizing this? So, what is your impression of him? My impression? He's the same Mel as always? In a little more detail? He's an amicable young man. Nice enough to show a complete stranger around. I agree. In Morgana's version of the story, he betrayed her. But he doesn't seem like the kind of person who would enthusiastically do something so malicious. He had to have some reason. And we need to figure out what that was. The question is, how do we go about it? We hardly have enough time to earn his trust and convince him to tell us himself. I'll just have to put the knowledge I already have to good use. Oh, that reminds me. Something that might explain it? No, about Morgana. When you were alive, she was always right there with you, like I am now, right? Whenever it struck her fancy, yes. She didn't seem to care when or where. She just would start talking whenever she felt like it. Whenever? For the most part, yes. Anytime she wanted. Giselle? You don't have to worry about that with me. I know when to keep my mouth shut, promise. What? You said you feel like you're alive again, right? My 5 senses all seem to be in working order. Which means you'll also be getting hungry, tired, sleepy, and you'll, You'll have to go to the bathroom. I'll be polite, close my eyes, and plug my ears while you're doing it. Thanks. What would possess her to bring that up? Does she even realize what she's saying? Oh gosh, now I'm red as a tomato. That answers that. Moving right along. Moving right along. We need to discuss how we're going to go about this. Right, that. The Harvest Festival is our deadline, which doesn't give us very much time. We need a plan if we're to arrive at the plan for when we arrive at the mansion. How about we spill their secret? Tell everyone about the girl that got locked up in the tower and force them to set her free. Surely they wouldn't stand for that. Perhaps, but would anyone believe me? If I walked in and said I came from the future, that I know what was going to happen, would anyone actually buy that? Sure, with enough convincing. Even if I did manage to convince them, the tower door was locked in Morgana's rendition of the tale. 3 keys. What if we got the keys? You need 3 keys to get inside. Mel should have one of them, but stealing his alone won't be enough to get into the tower. True. If Giselle's right, and we can save Morgana and change the future, then that would indeed solve everything. But something about this whole situation still doesn't sit right with me. I had to do more than just set her free of that tower. I was to find the truth as well, as I intentionally set out to do. Regardless, I would like to try and set it on everyone's good side as much as possible for now. Okay, I'll do whatever I can to help. I appreciate it. I mean, as you know, conversation is not exactly my strong suit. Which means it's my job to hit the brakes whenever you say something stupid. It's a bit too late too late if I've already said it. Yeah, I got something in my throat. I'm sorry, I don't know why. Anyway, step 1 is getting ourselves into the mansion. We can't hope to make contact with the other 2 men, much less get Morgana out of there if we're not staying nearby. I'll do what I can. We're almost there. See the big building in the distance? That's the church. It is the same mansion as I suspected. Seeing it now, knowing what horrible things happened there, it is so disheartening. Are happening as we speak. In the tower we see in the distance, Morgana's locked up all alone. I wish we could just march in there and set her free. If getting in the tower were our only goal, we could probably force our way in with a little work. Is something the matter? Mel could probably overpower him and get the key. I could probably overpower him and get his key. Hello? The other two almost certainly wouldn't work for. Can you hear me? Oh, yes, sorry. I was lost in thought. Seems kind of strange, doesn't it? What does? I mean, it doesn't look much like a church. At a glance, you'd think of some noble estate. Ah, so it does. I spent so long there, it never occurred to me. I was pretty surprised when I first saw it myself. A peculiar place, all told. There's a chapel inside the mansion with this gorgeous stained glass window. It's quite the sight. Do you know why it was built like that? I'm not actually sure myself, no. Anyway, I'll show you to the chapel. The Saintess should be there too, so I can introduce you. Saintess? You've never heard of her? Everyone around here knows her. She's a nun at the church, and everyone calls her the Saintess. She's practically her own religious figure. Oh, he's not talking about Morgana. You'll just have to see for yourself. Come on. I thought of a horrible twist. Remember how Morgana's mother claimed that she had the child of God, right? And that she was should have been revered as a saint. And then she sold Morgana out of desperation. What if she then became a nun, was able to profess her sainthood further by talking about the child she had or something, and then she came here, is the nun, and was never knowing that her own daughter was living as a slave in the tower in which she was revered. Wouldn't that be a horrible twist? On our way to the mansion, we passed through a courtyard of sorts. When I lived here, the area was overgrown with weeds. Apparently, they kept it in better condition in this era. Following Mel's lead, we head through the chapel entrance. Oh my. I'm at a loss for words when I see what lies on the other side of those all too familiar doors. While it was barely recognizable as a place of worship in my memory, just 2 columns of battered pews and some piles of rubble, the room I'm looking into now is unequivocally a chapel. A chapel? So this is what it used to look like. I wonder how far back this is from when we lived. It has to be more than a decade or 2. Maybe 100 years? Or more. The views and beliefs about the world prevalent in our time are not so different than those of this time. Perhaps the chapel was destroyed in the aftermath of the Harvest Festival. When I was first sent to the mansion, there were signs that repairs had been attempted. The stained glass window is behind the pulpit. I'm guessing, though, we can't see it from here. And right next to it is the door to the observation tower. Ah, there she is. There's no priest here. She runs the church. You'll want to talk to her first if you're planning to participate in the Harvest Festival. I'll go fetch her for you. Whisking his way between the pews, the boy disappears into the back of the chapel, returning with a nun in tow. When I see her, my face twists for a brief moment. Good afternoon. You came to see the festival, I hear. It's wonderful to have you. Is that who I think it is? I'm all but certain at this point that all the major players from behind the 3 doors are present here. Not just the 3 men whose shadows remain in the mansion, but also the woman who were important parts of their lives. Though dressed differently, the way she speaks and the way she holds herself resembles the woman killed by her lover behind the 2nd door. They're all connected. What we thought were 3 separate tales, all stretch back to a single point in time before our own. Is there something the matter? No, I was just thinking how unusual it is for one nun to be managing the entire church all by herself. Yes. That's the usual reaction from new visitors. Even I think the assignment is a bit over my head. Assignment.
Ah, well, I was at another church before this one. A smaller building and I wasn't the only nun. But the lord of the land ordered me to transfer to a new, larger church he was opening. So here I am.
The Lord.
There's plenty of space on the property, more than enough to provide shelter for the orphan children and aid for the sick.
It seems rather vacant from what I've seen.
Yes, about that. We used to take people in, but circumstances have made that difficult of late.
What kind of circumstances?
It's not something I can discuss with an outsider. Sorry.
I'm guessing it has to do with Morgana's imprisonment here.
Do you think she knows about Morgana?
I would guess not. The men swore to keep it between the three of them.
So she's being forced to oversee the mansion, completely oblivious of what's happening here.
Which isn't to say she's not connected to it in some way. If she's the girl from the second tale, then she should be close with.
Is something troubling you?
No, my apologies. I got lost in thought.
You do look it, but you're actually a bit of a daydreamer, aren't you?
Daydreamer.
Mel would fit that description much better.
Mel would fit that description much better.
What? Why? Do I really feel like I'm that much of an airhead? Oh, I can see that. Someone has to watch out for him, or he's likely to lose his head in the clouds. I really don't think I'm that spacey. I'm not trying to say you're spacey. I just feel like you've got to keep one eye on you at all times. It's a lot like what I imagine having a little brother would be like.
I am the oldest child, you know.
What's the big deal? Don't want a big sister? Well, I want you to be my little brother. I don't want to just be a capital S sister to you. It's so stiff and formal. No, I want to be your sister.
I'm a little old to be playing make-believe.
Oh, come on.
They're quite friendly with one another, it would seem.
Oh, I know. Why don't you become her brother then?
What? Oh yeah, because he's being recognized as a male. That's nice.
Will you?
I will not. Besides, I'm clearly the oldest one here.
Why not? I don't think it matters who's older than who. You don't really act all that old anyway.
I have at least 10 years on you.
You're the youngest child, insecurity's showing.
What? Insecurity?
You two are pretty good friends, huh?
We can discuss the veracity of that claim later. I would like to ask you a favor.
What is it? I'll gladly help with anything I can.
Could I perhaps borrow a room until the day of the Harvest Festival? I don't have anywhere to stay. Or source of income, for that matter. I know I'd be taking advantage of your generosity, but I only mean to intrude for a few days.
I would be more than happy to offer you a place to stay. At any other time. But right now, I can't let you stay here. I'm so sorry.
Oh, dang. So much for that.
Don't let one little snow stop you. Keep pushing. Put on a show. Earn her sympathy. She's a lady of the cloth. If you make her feel bad for you, she'll offer you her aid.
Put on a show? You expect me to act? I'm having another episode. And I was so sure this church would be able to help.
That's not going to convince anyone.
Quiet, you.
He was perfectly fine on our walk here.
Shut your mouth, boy.
As I said, we did once offer a place of respite for the ailing and needy, but regrettably, for the time being, we're unable to take anyone in. What I can do, though, is give you medicine. Since we can't let people stay here with the Lord's generous assistance, we've been handing out medicine instead.
So all you do here, then, is give people medicine?
Yes, I suppose that's what it boils down to. I'm honestly not sure why we're not allowed to offer shelter right now, but we are still able to provide assistance to those in need, so I assume it's just a temporary measure and we'll be able to take people in again before long. And with how much he's done for the church, it's not really my place to complain about his decisions. I am truly sorry. I hope you understand.
Unfortunately, we kind of know what that medicine is. It's blood. Or wine mixed with blood. Although that is one thing to look at it, like, she was being used, but she's being used to help the poor and the needy, like she wanted.
I'm supposed to ask for a tithe in exchange, normally. But just this once, it's yours, free of charge.
Could you tell me more about this medicine, please?
It's called Saint's Blood, and it'll cure any disease.
Saint's Blood.
It's not real blood, of course. That's just what it's called. I'm sure it sounds divine, doesn't it?
No, that's not true.
Huh?
It is real blood.
Huh? What? What do you... Oh, sorry to butt in. Do you mind if I bring him back to my room? I don't think I've mentioned it, but he's an old friend of mine. We've got a lot of catching up to do. All right. Hey, come here. This way. Well, that sure got quite a reaction out of him. And now he's incredibly leery of you.
When she mentioned the blood, I couldn't stop myself. I probably should have kept my mouth shut, though. I don't know. At the same time, Mel's definitely having second thoughts about all of this, so he might actually be persuaded. Mel didn't say a word the entire way. His smile had retreated, and there's a hint of fear lurking beneath his now stony expression. I spent the trek through the mansion's corridors, pondering how to answer the questions I know are coming. How to solve the problem I put myself in. We enter the bedroom, presumably his, and he closes the door behind us. I can see the distrust in his eyes as he glares at me. I think I know how I would go through this, but I don't know how he's going to. If I were Michel and I had the chance to think things through, I would remember that there is a time where the Lord once hosted parties. We could claim that we were once a servant at a party for one of the guests, and that we were there when it was revealed that they were drinking blood, and that they called it Saint's Blood too. That would be the lie I would go with.
I have to ask, who exactly are you? Why did you say that back there? That Saint's Blood is actual blood?
In response to his pressing eye. I don't think we have time to tell him everything. Here's the thing. I don't really worry about telling Mel everything. But I worry that Mel will scamper off and go and tell the beast. And he'll come and kill us. Then again, the truth might be enough. Because we could use the truth of everything that happened to prove to him that we know exactly what's going down. So I think I'm going to tell him everything. I know Mel feels immense remorse about his involvement in Morgana's imprisonment, so I decided it's best to tell him everything. His shade in the mansion begged for me to save him. If he knows what I know, maybe this Mel will seek my help as well. Perhaps I'm being rash, but it's worth a shot. Alright, I'll tell you everything. It might sound crazy, but I promise you, everything I'm about to tell you is the truth. I am not from this time.
What?
I have come here from a point of time after Morgana's death.
How do you know about...
I know everything. Morgana told me what happened here, what will happen here. You and the two other men imprisoned her at the top of the observation tower. eventually leading to her death. At this point in time, she should still be alive, but she will not be for much longer. When the bell tolls noon on the day of the Harvest Festival, Morgana's life will come to an end. And when she dies, she will do so in the grips of overwhelming hatred. A hatred that will transform her soul into a true witch. The three of you will become the targets of that hatred, the targets of her curse. And by the power of that curse, you will be drawn back to this place in your next lives, where great suffering and misery await you.
Everything you're saying is going right over my head. Our next lives, her soul, a witch?
Every word of it is true. Did anything I say contradict your experiences? The three of you have Morgana imprisoned in the tower. You drain her of her blood, which you then claim is a medicine called Saint's Blood, which you give out in exchange for tithes. Am I wrong about any of that? I am here to save Morgana, to set her free of that tower and her hatred, which will coincidentally set your souls free as well. I know you're not proud of what you've done. Lend me your hand in freeing Morgana, and tell me your story. Tell me how you came to be involved in her imprisonment. This is not the path you wish to take, I'm certain of that. You wanted blood for your sister, yes? But you're not the kind of man who would think severing another's arm was acceptable. You have to have some reason for it. Please, give me your assistance. Tell me your tale. Saving her will save you too. I only want what's best for you.
Could you give me a moment? This is all so sudden. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around it. But I do get one thing, that you know what we've been doing. Give me some time to process it. I'll have an answer for you tonight.
Crap, he's gonna go run and tell the others.
Please, I'll make the right decision. I just need time to convince myself.
I understand.
Wait here until I come back, would you? It's almost sundown, so it shouldn't be long. Tonight, I'll tell you what I can. Once I've made sense of everything, I'm sure I'll be able to shake hands. So just relax here for a bit.
I'll be waiting.
Thanks. See you tonight.
He's bringing the beast tonight. But I think he would have brought the beast anyway.
Well, I seem to believe it.
Thankfully, I was worried he wouldn't.
I knew he wasn't happy being a part of this. He desperately wanted out. And you gave him that opportunity.
I can only hope.
He said he'd help, so let's give him the benefit of the doubt and see what happens when he comes back.
Perhaps I'm just being paranoid, but it feels like that went over too easily. No, I made the right decision.
Hello? Are you there?
Yeah, this reminds me very much of when he brought the knight, the beast to Morgana the first time.
May I come in?
You may.
Sorry it took so long.
Not at all. You did say it would be a night when. There you are. Oh, it's both of them.
What?
Is this the man?
Never seen him before.
You.
It's them.
What is the meaning of the smell?
Where the hell did you get your information? Michel?
I came from the future. In my time, Morgana is already dead. I'm here to set her free, to erase.
You spilled it, Mel, didn't you? No, I didn't. Why do you think I told you about him? So you'd know I didn't come from me. I can't believe he...
Mel, how could you? What happened to everything you said earlier? That you would make the right decision, that you would help?
You two friends? For the thousandth time I met him in the forest this afternoon. I'd never seen him before then. Then who told him?
It wasn't me. I have nothing to gain from talking.
True enough. He's just messed up in the head. That has to be it. He all has all these crazy delusions. Souls turning into witches, the next life. He's mad, I tell you. I thought he believed us.
Mel, am I wrong that you feel remorse? Am I wrong that you don't want to be involved in this? That you shouldn't be adding to your list of wrongdoings? No, you shouldn't be doing you should be doing what you know is right and let Morgana go.
Are you sure you're not friends? I swear to God, if he was a friend, why would I snitch on him?
You're not one to let friendship get in the way of what you truly desire.
I would never... Michel, we have to get out of here.
Ugh. If someone just twitches like he's going to run, cut him in half.
Michel.
Maybe you'll come to your senses if you know exactly how what you're doing will affect your next lives. Morgana comes to bear such incredible loathing for each of you that the people you care for.
Who, pray tell, lives life fearing how it will affect their next?
If only you knew.
You are right, he's out of his mind.
Listen.
You chose the wrong man for your little sermon. Next life, souls.
God dang it. How can I get them to believe me? I've seen it all, but they don't have any of those memories. How can I convince them to believe something that hasn't even happened to them yet? How can I get them to release Morgana? Tell them what they only know. How can I save her?
Michel, please, you have to run. You're in danger here.
I would love to, but the door's blocked.
So tell me, who told you about Morgana?
Morgana herself.
Who told you?
I'm telling the truth. I know what I know because she told me.
I suppose it doesn't matter where you got your information. Getting rid of you still means one less person who knows. Michel!
Kill him.
Don't.
Can I play with him first?
No, do it quickly. I'm tired of listening to this madman's ramblings. No, please, don't do this. We're only here to save your souls.
I totally got a bad ending, didn't I?
Because we believe you were truly evil. So why?
Oh, alright. I'm not happy about it, though. You're putting more than just your next lives at risk. You'll lose the people you care about in this life, too. People are going to die on the day of the Harvest Festival. Many people are going to die. You may be able to avoid that if you set her free. And also change your phone fates as well.
I can't listen to this anymore. Kill the madman now. Don't, please. I'm begging you, don't.
It really is a shame. I was hoping I could have some fun with you. Well, fetch.
Michel!
It happened in the blink of an eye. The man steps forward, and the moment his sword is out of its sheath, I'm toppling backward.
Michel! No, Michel, no, why? No, please, no, this can't be. Michel, say something, Michel, please. Michel!
No. Oh. Giselle's scream fades into the distance. As the three men watch, I make a heavy thud against the cold floor. You clean up the mess, Mel. The last thing I want is a darn nun suspecting anything. Don't you vomit, boy. Make any more mess and you'll be joining him. Haha. All three of their voices are growing muted now. As my vision grows red, I realize I can see my own body off in the distance. What pains me most, though, is that Giselle had to witness that too. But everything's slipping away from me so quickly. I don't have time to come up with anything to say before it all goes black. Well, fetch. Oops. Darn it, I genuinely thought that was gonna work. Ending 0, dead end. Fetch. Well, fine. Guess we'll reload, get back there. Yeah. See you in a sec. Well, I'm back here at the choice that led to my inevitable demise, but I also looked at how long this is, and I think this is probably a great place to stop. Now that I know I can die and get bad endings, but I guess, well, I better be careful then. It's kind of sad. That's the first bad ending I've really gotten, so. Oh well. We'll advantage. Now we kind of know we need to tread carefully, but we'll figure it out from here on. So, well, I guess we'll have to try and solve this murder problem before. Though, like, I should have realized Mel absolutely betrays people. Like, I shouldn't have done that. We also know that the Beast is still a psychopath, and the Noble is kind of crazy. It's gonna be hard finding redeemable qualities with them, isn't it? I don't like this, but I guess we'll just have to figure all that mess out next time. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me for the bad ending. The first one I could probably have gotten, unless answering that your god also leads to a bad ending. Could, actually. You know, being a heretic, basically. But it's time for us to just take a break, and next week we will continue once again. Thank you so much for being here today. Oh, real quick announcement. On Wednesday, instead of Steins Gate Zero, because I just finished it, I'm going to be doing a channel update. I'm going to talk about when I'm going to do Steins Gate Zero Rap Party. Some of the next titles you can look forward to seeing on the channel. Some changes I'm making to the channel, especially for the fact that I've got kind of two audiences, primarily the visual novel group, but I've also got a group that have been really interested in my lore videos based on the Cosmere. I have a big announcement about that. The channel can change a little bit, but I don't think it'll be bad, especially if you're here for visual novels. It really won't make a big difference for you, but all the same, got some announcements coming up, so look forward to that on Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. As always, it's a pleasure having you. But until the next video you're watching me, after seeing me in next, I'll see you there.